Establishing battlefield control. Stand
A
by.
lot of really, really good stuff. A lot of rare stuff as well.
Yeah, I see two Tabarans, some Platinum editions here.
Two different ones as well.
Oh, nice, nice.
I don't know if you knew, but there are different versions for different regions.
Oh no, I didn't know this.
Oh no, they have the European one came like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The US one,
Okay.
it's all like shiny platinum.
Ah, okay, nice.
Actually, slightly bigger.
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of different variations.
And I'm sure they're very expensive, aren't they?
I've been collecting this shit since I was a kid. This one.
Oh, what is this?
That is
Tabaran Dawn? Is this Tabaran Dawn?
a Japanese version of Tabernacle.
Oh, nice, okay.
And what else? You're from Germany, so you know the...
No, I'm from Austria, but we speak German.
The
Tiberium-Konflikt, yeah.
the glitter version. You have that one too?
Yeah, but not the shiny one.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but the censored one.
Yeah, I have the German one as well, because that's the one. Yeah, look at this. The exact same one right here.
Oh, cool. cool.
German and...
Very nice. Have you played the German version or?
Yeah, that's the one I grew up playing because my dad was German.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I got all the horrible localized version.
Hey, I missed a bit in the remaster collection the squish sound. When you drive with a tank through infantry, in the German version you get a sound from a squishing can.
Yeah, that's because they have black blood because they're robots.
Yeah, cyborg. No, androids. Or androids? Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, thank you for your time again, and I'm really glad to have you here. I'm sure you have many things to do, especially for the next upcoming RTS.
yeah, we're knee deep into it. There's so much stuff to do, but we're confident we haven't announced any release date yet, but we're confident we'll hit it.
Yeah, in the trailer you said 2023. Is this still an option or is it more a wish?
Yes, I can't say anything about release date. But there's also, there are various reasons as well. Sometimes even though you might have something that's done, it's not the right time to release it due to other releases and the market. And right now we're trying to figure out, because there's a lot of things we can't announce and show. For instance, our release date trailer, pre-orders, etc., until we have the release date locked down. And we're still working on when is the right release date. And once that's locked down, then we can start to spill the beans about all the other good stuff.
Understandable, yeah, I know. But I have to ask this because everybody wants to know. But Tempest Rising is on a good road, isn't it? In the demo it says it's nearly done. This could be everything, so it's more the polish.
We're around beta stage right now.
Ah, okay. So polishing but the main construct is more or less done.
We're pretty much content complete, yeah. So we're essentially just polishing up, tweaking, balancing, getting our cinematics in and getting those ready, making sure that the whole story works and people say the right things at the right times. There's a bunch of stuff, and of course we have a QA team working on finding bugs. So we also do a lot of bug fixing right now. And we've got a ton of stuff from you guys, from the fan feedback as well, things that we haven't found ourselves. So yeah, that's the process we're going through right now.
Nice. Yeah, bug fixing is a bit of complicating, I think, because I'm working on a mod and the players trying different things because they don't know the game, but the developers know it, so they know how to play it, but the players don't. Yeah, they find stuff. It's sometimes incredible. That's
the challenge. We saw players try all these weird things we'd never thought of, which is great because that's the thing you get out of actual people playing the game and not just QA testers.
Yeah, of course. And A personal question: GDI or not?
Ooh, well,
I mean, I make no secret about my favorite.
yeah. So from a cool factor, not.
Of course.
But what I like to play the most is GDI, but that's mostly because GDI in both CNC and Tiberian Sun are, they have heavy duty machinery, and I really love that.
Oh yeah.
The strongest tanks and that raw military firepower. That's why in Red Alert I like Soviet the most to play as, because they are kind of the GDI of that game.
Oh yeah, of course. Tesla coils and stuff. The mammoth tanks.
Mammoth tanks, all the good stuff. So yeah.
The funny stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I understand when I played the Baron Dawn, I prefer to play with the GDI because the firepower of the tanks is much higher than from the Noddies. The lighting is really weak and you know what I mean? But the coolness...
But I like that,
Yeah, but the move around Kane and the Brotherhood is much cooler. Of course.
Agreed, 100%.
Is there something something similar in Tempest Rising 2? Do we get a bold leader? Anyway.
We are kinda. Domovoy, Alex Molchalin's father, is kind of bold.
Okay.
But no, not really. And there's a lot of things in the game with the first two missions being released that makes you think, oh, Alex is like Kane, but things are not quite as they seem, and as we play through the game, you'll realize these things. But it's similar to the reason when we announced the game at Gamescom last year, a lot of people say, oh, it feels just like Command & Conquer, and we're like, well, yes, kinda. The first two missions, the style we're going for, but as you play the game and play through it, a lot of things open up that takes it in a different direction. So we wanted to make sure that, the game scratches that itch of, I would like to play another game like this. But we also wanted to do something new and a lot of new things. And finding that balance is really important for us. So we start by giving some expectations while playing the demo, seeing the briefings, cinematics. You're like, wow, I know this. This is super cool. This is like...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Conquer days.
Oh, yeah.
And subvert those expectations as you play through the game.
But this was the plan, wasn't it? To give the players the feeling, hey, I know this, but it's a new game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it worked. Also with the soundtrack, which... have some tracks which gives eventually some Command & Conquer feeling. I mean, yeah, nobody can... I think hearing the Tempest Rising soundtrack is when you hear like a Frankel Package soundtrack.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I think it's like hearing what you remember a Franklin Package soundtrack sounding like. But when you hear them back to back, it's more like a modernized version of that style of music. Again, the approach for us was the same. We don't want music that sounds like it's from Command & Conquer. We have tracks that are very similar to what you hear from StarCraft as well in the game. We wanted to make sure that we have tracks that gives you that emotional feeling you had when you heard music from games like Command & Conquer and many others, Dark Reign and KKND and so on. There's a lot of inspirations there. So it follows kind of the same premise as the rest of the game. We want to make sure we give people a certain nostalgic feeling without here's just a copy of what was great back then. So that's why a lot of the music is actually, when you really listen to it in comparison to the original Klepaki tracks, there's a lot of differences.
Yes, but I have the feeling I know it, but it's something new. I like it. It's very, very nice made, and it fits very good to the game style and the game graphics and to the gameplay. It's a perfect parcel, a perfect package for me. It's a very good job for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I can't wait to play the full version. I hope soon, but please take your time. We all knew FRE Realms and Slipgate is part of the Embracer group, yeah? And we all heard about the closing about Voliation, which is very bad because they made some nice games like Saints Row, Red Faction, and also Descent. Was there any fear that the Embracer Group says 3D Realms is not profitable, we will close it down? Or have you said, no, we are fine, I have no fear?
Well, so first of all, these news are usually not something that internally for the studios come from one day to another.
Yeah, of course.
it's from us as looking from the outside, and for journalists, it seems like it's all of a sudden now this happens. But part of the overall strategy of Embracers, of course, something we fully support. We think it's important to focus on the studios that right now have projects ongoing that can actually make them profitable. 3D Realms and Slipgate, two sides of the same coin, were pretty recent acquisitions. We have a lot of stuff in the plans, and we're directly under Saber Interactive. So Saber is our parent, the vertical operating group called Saber, and we love working under them. We have a very similar overall strategy and vision for what that part of Embracer would like to do. And we had a lot of conversations about the future as well. And but right now, we're chugging along. We're happy that we still get to do all the things that we have in development, also the games that are not announced yet. Okay. And right now, our primary focus at Slipgate and 3D Realms is to make sure that we release this game as a game that it's meant to be. All of the hype we see surrounding the game right now is just confirming to us that we are going in the right direction. And once this is out, and hopefully people love it as much as we love making it, we're looking forward to the next big thing.
Okay. So there was not really a fear that you have to drop any projects? Not really. Or was there any danger for Tempest Rising especially?
No, not necessarily. And to be frank, if projects are promising and have the potential of doing well, that's the main priority. The main priority is to release great games, and great games that does well. And usually those two things go together. If a game is great, it's probably also going to do great because it's going to get great critical reception and so on, unless it's something super niche. So that kind of goes hand in hand. If we were doing something that we did not believe was good, we will be the first ones internally to say, what, we should stop production of this game because it's not as good as an idea as we thought it would be. And we're on the same page with our owners, and we've had great collaborations and communications about these things since we were acquired. And so we're on the same page of which direction to go, what we want to do. That's the most important thing for us.
Okay, nice. I have to be true. I have to say the truth. The truth. I thought before I saw the announcement of Tempest Rising that 3D Realms isn't alive because.
Oh, we've been alive for a decade.
Yeah, I know. But when I was a child, I know Duke Nukem 3D. Then the dilemma about Duke Nukem Forever, and then it was over for me. Okay, I switched my hobbies, so I didn't check the news and stuff. And with the announcement of Tempest Rising, I saw, hey, 3D Realms is alive? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I know that, guys. And so I got back a little bit of flashback memories from childhood, and I know 3D Realms is a company who primarily producing shooters, like first and third person shooters like Iron Fury or Bombshell. And Tempest Rising isn't a shooter, it's an action-packed RTS.
Yes, but action-packed is the key word here. 3D Realms, back in the day, we did things like Max Payne as well with Remedy.
Oh, yeah. Max Payne, yeah.
But also going all the way back in the Apogee days, everything from pinball games to side-scrollers. The mantra or tagline of 3D Realms is action, adrenaline, and attitude. It's our redefinition of AAA. And for us, when we started working on this game, this is our first RTS. but all of us are hardcore RTS fans. And as you can see, and as you know, just like we are hardcore Quake fans and Doom fans and a lot of other, games from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And I think from a studio who have a lot of amazing talent at Slipgate, but have not made a game like this before, we come from the community's perspective on, if we were to make a game like this, if we were to, carry the torch from Westwood, for instance, what would we then do as fans? Because when we started designing this game a little over 3 years ago, we started the design phase from a fan perspective, not from a studio perspective. We've done 20 RTS games and now we're doing the next. So the design of this came from us as fans at 3D Realms and Slipgate of what would we do if we were to design an RTS. And then we got people on board who knew the intricacies of how RTS games work and what's important and so on. And I think that combination of coming from a fan perspective and coming from hardcore RTS systems developer standpoint, which we got some great people on board, mixing that together is the result you see here, which is why I think the game feels different from many other RTS games coming from studios who primarily make RTS titles. We're making a game here for, of course, hardcore RTS fans, but also we're making a game for those who grew up playing RTS games like Red Alert, Tiberian Sun, Command & Conquer, StarCraft, Warcraft, and have not really seen any games since that scratch that itch. Maybe except for StarCraft 2, and then there's a lot of indie stuff.
That's true. Yeah,
done a lot of cool stuff. Grey Goo, 8-bit armies, and so on. But nothing of this caliber. That's the type of game we're making here. But I think it's a positive thing and the benefit that we are not known for RTS games. But what we primarily do at 3D Realms are games with action, adrenaline, and attitude. That's our mantra.
That's true. Because I bought Iron Fury 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And at first I didn't know Iron Fury exists, but for my research for a YouTube video, I bought it, I played it, I started playing it, and it's a flashback into the 90s. But with a faster gameplay, and I really enjoyed it. It's really fun and it's really easy, not really complicated. You jump into it and you can play. Really nice job. And
yeah, I'm glad you like it. Have you checked the trailer for Phantom Fury?
Wait, the trailer?
For Phantom Fury,
the new one. Yeah. Oh, I saw the stream last week. Yeah. On 3D Realms. Oh, nice. I can't wait to play this too. Really action-packed and looks nice. Can't wait.
Tempest Rising teasers as well, or Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, of course. And there is a similar, because Bombshell and Iron Fury, Phantom Fury and Tempest Rising are in the same universe. I will call it now the Bombshell Universe. I don't know how you call it, but it's Bombshell Universe for me now. And why is Tempest Rising in the Bombshell Universe, and why so early?
Well, so we actually designed it originally as part of that. We've been working for quite some time on creating this 3D Realms game universe. And there will be several games in the future as well that kind of fit in with that universe. We worked on this timeline of this is the entire story from our actual document for this universe goes back 10,000 years before Christ.
Okay.
And then there are all the key moments that lead up to where this game takes place, key moments up until where, Iron Fury takes place, Bombshell, Phantom Fury, etc. And we thought that it would be cool to put it in this universe. We put it in 1997 because that was a good fit for the story we want to tell. It kind of sets a lot of things in motion around that time for the rest of the games.
Okay.
And we also think that the alternate history 90s, where you have these old school vehicles and weapons with a slight sci-fi twist because Tempest arrived on Earth and it allowed us to do new things. We think that makes it really cool. that's also why we don't really necessarily call it a sci-fi game, but more a it's a near future realistic art game. There are some fantastical things in there, but those things are all related to Tempest and what Tempest have changed. That's why when you see the Hunter tank, it looks like an Abrams tank with a few extra things on it. It doesn't look like a completely new tank. When you see some of the Dynasty units are actually old World War III vehicles that they have retrofitted with Tempest stuff and so on. We thought that style would be really cool. That also required us to place the game in the 90s or 80s instead of in 2197 or something like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can use already known designs, which makes it a bit easier for design, maybe. Yeah, cool. And you're making the game in the Unreal Engine. Why the Unreal Engine? I think the Unreal Engine is primarily created for FPS games, not for RTS.
Not really. It was primarily used for that for a long time. But Unreal Engine can do anything. You'll be surprised when you see the 2D mobile games that are done in Unreal Engine.
Okay, I'm not a mobile player.
Like anything else, but we use Unreal because it's what we've been using for all of our games, and it's the closest we can get to something that's cutting edge. We're using Unreal Engine 5 now for this, which allows us to do these incredibly detailed meta-human style characters for our mission briefings. The detail level, we have a maximum zoom in level, but in the editor we can zoom in to, see eyelashes on characters, and that stuff is really cool.
Okay.
That's something that this engine also allows us to do. So the visual fidelity is a big reason. The fact that we've been working with this for decades is another big reason.
Okay, and technically when you have the stuff in the Unreal Engine, so we get maybe a Tempest Rising Renegade sometimes?
The meshes we're doing are definitely the quality that would allow for something like a third-person or first-person game.
Okay, have you already thought about this?
We think about a lot of things all the time.
Okay, yeah, of course. I saw an interview with you on YouTube, I hope I say correctly, in the Geek Receipt, and you said Tempest Rising was started as a more or less side project.
Well,
from you.
All projects start as side projects. I can't think of any project that didn't start like that. While you're making your main game, you always have these little side things that you work on, and if something sticks, that might become the next big project. So this started as a side project like anything else. But a cool story I can tell you is that in 2014, the project started as a side project, and it actually started as a conversation between
2014. Okay, it's a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't start development, but we started the idea started that.
The brainstorming.
I had a conversation with our art director one late night. We were at the office, just him and I, and we were just talking about random things. And we were talking about how in the 90s, when big boxes were in the stores, you didn't have the internet, you might have magazines, but when you were buying games, you would look at the box and you'd say, wow, this looks cool. The same with Blockbuster and movies. You'd look at the box and you would, rent the movie if it looked cool. And we thought, whenever you looked at these boxes, you always imagined what the game would be like when you looked at that box. And nowadays, like everyone else, we make our key art usually at the end. When the game is nearing completion, we make the box art for the game. We thought, hey, what if we make the box art first without even knowing what the game is about? And then the feeling that it gives us looking at that box art, that's the game we designed, just for fun.
Okay, yeah, interesting, yeah.
So we sat down, him and I, we started working on this box art. And I think in some making of behind the scenes video, we'll show what that looked like. But then we actually created the first key art for the game. And back then it was called Ripon Tempest Dawn.
Okay.
And it was random, let's just come up with some random shit.
Okay.
but that was essentially it. And then we made this awesome box art. And then from then on, we started looking at that box and like, oh, I imagine this game playing like this and taking place in this universe and feeling like, and then the design started developing. But it wasn't until 3 years later we started slowly building out the actual idea for the game. And that was actually done together with a very small group of people who are who were key to the conception of this game. And some of them are, Naya Goots, who's known from the Command & Conquer community. We have Stefan from No String Productions. We have Wayward Strategy. Brandon was part of it as well. We also had a few other community people as well who were a key part of it. Some of them were, I'm just trying to look them up here. We had, who did we have?
I know CC Hyper was.
CC Hyper is not, he's not working for Slipgate, but he's part of kind of our community council style team. But we had, I had some other people. We had Matteo Pluck as well. Crimson Yanni Crimson as well.
Yeah. I know from the Baron's Son modding,
Yeah. So we had this small group of people, and we sat down at the very beginning and looked at this concept art, key art, and started talking about, let's actually try and design something here. And then, a few years after that, we thought, hey, let's actually make a prototype and let's actually make a vertical slice. And then before you know it, it became our next big game.
Okay, nice. Okay. Sorry. Was there ever a fear to fail or to say, no, the Tempest Rising will not be a good game, we throw it away? Or was it always, it's good, we do it?
Well, we knew the game was probably going to happen at some point or other. The main question is whether or not we should release a few other games first and then fund the project ourselves, do it much later, or if we should get a publishing partner that could help us turn this dream into reality. And we were so lucky to find THQ at that point. We worked with them before on a few other titles who were just as passionate about it. So it kind of came natural that, let's partner up, and then they funded the game, and then we started developing a little over 3 years ago, and here we are. Because
I'm asking, when you started the development, RTS was more or less a dead genre.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And that was the main reason. When we actually sat down with the budget for the game and the development team were ready to push that button, one of the reasons that the game was funded was that we saw a hole in the market, because a lot of RTS games came out during that period, 4 years ago, but the ones which were truly successful were the ones that kind of diverted into a different path. Frostpunk, for instance, games like that, where they're not traditional RTS games, but they are strategy games. Tactical games, XCOM, Shadow Tactics, those type of games also became pretty popular. But the traditional RTS, we felt the main reason that these are not as popular anymore, besides maybe Halo Wars for Xbox, is that nothing has really come out since StarCraft 2 with the visual fidelity and the production quality from a renowned studio. Not to say that we are, but nothing has come out since then. At that point, Microsoft are not doing another Age of Empires. There's not another StarCraft in the making. Blizzard is doing,
World of Warcraft stuff.
Exactly. So we felt that there was a need in this market for a game like what this is. And Lord and behold, when we announced the game, a lot of others probably had the same idea. Microsoft is back at it with, both a remaster of Age of Empires and Age of Empires 4. You see Covenant Heroes 3 came out. Homeworld 3 was announced. Like more and more big budget RTS games are starting to see the light of day. And we're really happy that what we took a big bet on here with this game is turning into a new genre that people are starting to rediscover again, which is great. Mostly because we don't feel we have any direct competitors with exactly what we're doing, but we have a lot of friends. You know, it feels like Stormgate and us, it's like back in the old days with Blizzard and Westwood. You know, they're doing their Warcraft stylized RTS. We're doing more like the hardcore military fantasy RTS, and we think that's awesome, because the more people who play RTS games, the more people will play our game, and the more people will play our, you know, friends' games at you know, for instance, with Stormgate and Frost Giant Games, and over at you know, the guys doing Homeworld, Relic as well. So yeah.
Nice. So we can say Tempest Rising made the genre alive again?
I don't think Tempest Rising did. I think...
Or the announcement of Tempest Rising, give it a boost a bit.
Yeah, I think when we started working on the game, we saw the need for a game like this, and others saw that need as well, other developers, and we just happened to, all of us, kind of announce our games within the same year, and here we are. So I don't think we were the only ones who thought it would be a good idea to go back and kind of reinvent the RTS genre. A lot of others saw that as well. We also have a lot of fantastic indie games, like Dwarf is another one of them, where you have the indie titles come out that try a lot of new, weird, interesting things.
Of course, yeah.
And then you have the big budget titles who, you know, played a little bit more safe, but there you get those grandiose RTS games with the, you know, big storylines and special effects and fancy engines and so on. I think it's a great time to be an RTS player. There's so much good stuff coming out.
Oh yeah, we had a long dry period, but now we get so much games we don't have time to play all.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only IP is missing, which is missing, is a Command and Conquer game is not really in the making. Okay. Oh no, that's a lie. We get a new Legion soon. Is making an mobile game. Also an option for FRE Realms?
I would say at the moment, no. That's not the space we're in. There are many others who do a much better job at mobile games than we do. The same with free-to-play games, you know, games as a service. That's not what we do. We are great at doing hardcore action games. You buy the game, you get the game, you play it. We're good at single player stuff as well. Like we like to stay in our lane with Slipgate and 3D Realms and focus on doing what we do well, really well. Okay. And you know, if there's something we're not passionate about and something we don't think is a match for us, we won't go ahead and do it. You know, one of the reasons we're not doing a StarCraft or Warcraft stylized RTS is because we just don't have, for us, the passion to develop something like that. So we're not the right studio for that, and it's the same with mobile. I don't know anyone here who plays mobile games, to be honest.
I don't know.
Maybe there's a ton of awesome stuff on mobile, but we're just a bunch of old,
yeah, of course, yeah,
old guys making the type of games that we love to play.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are old. We grew up in the 80s and 90s. We are old, yeah. It's no shame to say that. It's fine. It's fine. Was there, because EA sold the rights for Command & Conquer to the Legions team, was there always the idea to buy the rights of Command & Conquer to make a new PC game of Command & Conquer? Or
I don't think they sold the rights, the IP.
No, not direct the rights. They said the team can use it. Yeah, licensing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, that's so we're big fans of Command & Conquer. We would love to do something with that, but you know, right now we're doing Tempest Rising. We've been doing that for a long time, but again, we don't know what's going on over there at EA. But they probably have some good plans for it, and whatever comes out. If something comes out someday, we'll be the first ones to cheer for them. The mobile games that they have licensed out, it's not something that we have personally played. It's also very different, as far as I understand, from what, you know, the PC titles are, and the PC games, what we're fans of, the way those games.
Of course.
But yeah, otherwise I can't really talk too much about the whole Command & Conquer side. All that we're big fans. We know the old developers are big fans still, and we wish Command and Conquer the best. It would be awesome to see a new CNC game.
Oh yeah, of course.
And compete with us.
The community is waiting for Command and Conquer 4.
Yeah, the real Command and Conquer 4.
Yes, with base building. That would be nice. What's your favorite Command and Conquer when we are at the topic?
Tiberian Sun.
Tiberian Sun? Why?
Yeah. Because it's the one that I waited the most for. You know, I remember as a young kid, I had pre-orders for Duke Nukem Forever and Tiberian Sun, and those were the two, you know, most highly anticipated games in the industry back in the late 90s. And I remember I had both receipts for the pre-orders, like 98, 99. Okay. And I went down to the video game store every day to ask, hey, when is Duke Forever coming out? When is Tiberian Sun coming out? And finally, Tiberian Sun got a release date, and I had my pre-order, went down there, saw the game being played on a computer that was set up in the store. And the first time seeing that emotion again, because no internet and there were no real videos of gameplay, I was just mind blown. I saw the game for the first time in a magazine at the world premiere. So that is my favorite, mainly because it's the first CNC game I really saved up for and waited for a long time. But the one I go back and play the most is the very first Command and Conquer and subsequent Red Alert. Because I have the most good memories from those. Those were my, like, Command and Conquer was the first RTS I ever played. And going back to that, and I don't really play, Remastered was great, but whenever I play CNC, I always put in the disc on my old Windows 98 machine and play.
You're still playing the old one, okay?
1.0 MS-DOS.
Nice.
I'm playing it because it was a good game for what it was back then, and I want that exact experience. And when I play Red Alert, I play it on Windows 95, the original disc in the drive, and then I play that version.
Nice.
But those are the two I go most back to whenever it's like Friday night, kids and wife are gone. I want to sit down and play something. I put in the disc of the original Command and Conquer or Red Alert, and then I play those. I think objective view, the best one of the CNC series, for me at least, is probably Tiberian Sun. I feel that game kind of perfected everything. I know a lot of people say Red Alert 2 is probably the best one, but for me, it's not only about the gameplay, it's also about when did this franchise hit all the high notes. And for me, it was the perfect combination of a storyline that took itself serious, didn't have all the wacky stuff you get in later Red Alert games. It was the first one with the new engine. I feel they perfected that formula with Tiberian Sun.
Okay. If I remember my younger days, I preferred Red Alert 2 because it has a faster gameplay and was, I like the faster gameplay a lot. But now I have to say, Tiberian Sun, it's still, it's very old, we know, but it has the better atmosphere, the better cutscenes, and it's still playing and looking fantastic. I mean...
And atmosphere and cutscenes mean a lot.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So yeah.
And sadly, EA or Westwood dropped the style from Tiberian Sun cutscenes in the next titles. I really liked it that you have some movie feeling and you're watching a movie, which is missing in Red Alert.
It was much more cinematic.
Yeah.
But again, I think already with they had some great actors still for Command & Conquer 3, but I think already at that point, when Tiberian Sun came out, it was the most anticipated game in the entire games industry. Nothing could come close. Maybe Duke Forever. It was before Half-Life 2 was even in known development. It was like that's the most anticipated game. Is the biggest one. We get James Earl Jones. We get Mark Hamill. They were firing on all cylinders for this game. Command & Conquer 3 was being developed and came out in a period of time where RTS games are no longer the king of the gaming industry. We have all these, big consoles that play next generation first-person shooters and RPGs and so on. So I also get the feeling that for that game, they still had, great actors and so on, but they, what I was saying is I think they didn't have the luxury of going as bananas as they did with Tiberian Sun with the cutscenes and the storyline for that, and that's understandable. The game came out a long time after Tiberian Sun. They had to kind of figure out, how do we do an RTS these days? Xbox 360 is ruling. How do we make it for that? Like, a lot of things have to be tested out again. And so I think that's the main reason.
Of course, yeah. Is when you say console, a lot of RTS games are now also got released on consoles, like Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 4, Company of Heroes 3, and Realms of Ruin. And is Tempest Rising also possible in the future on console, Xbox or PlayStation?
Something we can't really comment on yet. Right now, we're focusing on PC.
Okay, so there's no.
I love personally, RTS games on console. I think it's great. I also, I played through all of CNC on PlayStation.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
no. Okay. Yeah.
For me personally, I like a great game. The controls for that game, if I'm giving a controller to play an RTS game and I have to move the mouse around with the D-pad, that doesn't make the game bad. It's still a good game. It's just the input is horrible. But for me, that doesn't take the enjoyment away, really, because just another different input. I'll get around it. Everyone else playing that on PlayStation also had the same input, so Who cares? That's my personal opinion. So I love RTS games on consoles. I personally play them on PC because I'm first and foremost a PC gamer. But yeah, never say never.
Of course. Oh, okay, nice. I mean, I'm also grow up with a PC and playing on PC the games. My old friend, played Red Alert on a PlayStation 1, I think it was. And I said, let me try this out, yeah? I took the controller, I pressed some buttons, I said, I can't play this, take it back, please. So
they actually made a mouse and keyboard, or a mouse for that. I think a Red Alert themed mouse for the PlayStation that you could play the game with.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know this. Nice. Cool. Perfect. And we are looking forward to the Deep's Realm in the end of Realms Deep, and the end of the month. And are there any preparations to do, or is it already all recorded and prepared, and you're still waiting for the date?
Oh no, we're preparing every day, all day for this big show.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. If you're a fan of Tempest Rising, you should definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, I will. I'm normally working on this day, but I will quit my working day earlier so I can watch the show, of course.
Oh, don't quit your job, man. Just take.
No. Yeah, I will take off. Yeah. I will just stop. Nice. And are any surprises, or can you give me a small hint?
No hints.
No hints. Okay, no hints.
Yeah, hang around for Realms Deep, and there's definitely some news.
It's not only from FRE Realms, it's also from partners, right? So from Fulcium.
Well, Realms Deep is essentially 3D Realms and friends showing off new games, making announcements, and just having a good time.
Okay. Is this a live or pre-recorded show?
It's kind of a mix between both. Just like other shows, some parts are pre-recorded, but the whole thing is streamed live, and we're mixing it live and so on.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a combination.
Okay. And there's also a second RTS game which got produced from your company, is Warpause. Is this still a thing, or because it became really silent around him?
Yeah, so Warpause is a very, very different game than Tempest. Every sense of the word. But we also, coming up with 2 RTS games around the same time is not good for anyone's business. So right now, our focus is on Tempest Rising right now to make sure that gets out and gets done. The other game is very far in development, but we want to make sure we focus on one RTS at a time.
Of course, yeah.
So we will get back and be able to talk a bit more about the smaller RTS at a later point.
Smaller. I mean, dogs and cats fighting against each other sounds funny. I mean, I'm also looking forward to this. What's your favorite, cat or dog?
Dog.
Dog, okay. You have a dog?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, nice. I have currently no pets, but I grew up with a lot of cats, so I'm team cats.
Awesome. Well, it's gonna be fun playing against each other.
Yeah, sure. We will do. And how many people are working on Tempest Rising or on Warpause? How big is the team?
Tempest Rising is. Then it's always hard to say these things because we have people joining and then people are moving on to other things and when they're done with their work on that. But what I can say is the team size on our development Discord right now is. Let me see if I can find the number. The team size right now is around 123 people. Damn. It's a big team.
This is only for Tempest Rising or for the complete FRE Realms?
So this is only Tempest Rising. This is everyone who in some way or another is involved.
Okay. Ooh, it's really a big team. And they are not all located in Denmark? No.
No, they're not.
Have you many...
We have kind of our core team here in Denmark.
Okay.
But a lot of the people working remote are voice actors. We have a writer working remote. We have some cinematic people and so on. But the core team is here in Denmark.
Okay, because I know Brandon is a US guy.
Brandon is a US guy.
Yeah. Is he the only US guy or how is the...
We have a few others in the US, but not really related to where Brandon is and what he's doing. But there are some people who live in the US who work on, I think we have a concept artist who lives there and a programmer.
Okay. Yeah. And we all know working from home is different than working in the office. And we all know we had COVID. Has FRE Realms any problems during the COVID pandemic or was it fine or... How was the time creating a game during the COVID pandemic?
So it was okay, but at that point, most of us here actually worked from remote already. When COVID happened, we didn't have a big studio yet, so it wasn't a big change for us. It was more coming back from COVID that was a big change because people have been used to working remote for so long that getting back into the office space.
They have to wear pants, no?
By the way, I have a meeting here that starts in a couple of minutes, so I have to...
No problem.
It's the talk here.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I wish you good luck with the Realms Deep and with the Realms Deep, and with the release of Tempest Rising, hopefully soon, but no pressure. And yeah, I wish you a nice day and thank you again.
Yeah, thanks, man. Anytime, Mark, and talk to you later.
Thank you. Ciao.
Battle control offline.